Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, Flex Tanger here to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I am back for a little bit. I'm in the middle of a move, as you can see. I was going to wait till after the move to make a video talking about Modern Warfare 2, but there are just some major topics and issues that are really pissing me off. Modern Warzone had a really good chat on Twitter the other day talking about a lot of this stuff. They touched on every major issue that Infinity Ward is ignoring, but they had a few assumptions and misconceptions that needed to be corrected. So that's what I'm going to do in this video right here. I'm going to shed some light on the real truth behind the minimap decision that everyone is actually kind of in the dark about, and the truth about the game sales of Modern Warfare 2019 and why Activision already knows Modern Warfare 2022 is not going to sell nearly as well. While, of course, also touching on a couple of other things. But before we get into it, please, if you are a classic Call of Duty lover, if you've been in the game for a long time and you missed the gold and silver era of Call of Duty YouTube, please go check out Dead Ops Regiment. Please. We got some really funny-ass videos on there playing Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, World at War. A bunch of us just got together to make these classic videos to really bring back the side of Call of Duty YouTube that time forgot. In one of our more recent videos, I actually get filmed dressed as Simon Ghost Riley, and I go and annoy a couple of GameStop employees. It was a good time, and you should go check that out. But anyways, let's get on to the topic. Infinity Ward released a statement about the whole minimap gate thing, stating that their decision was so that, quote, players won't get punished for shooting their weapon, and so that, they want players to actively search for the origins of the gunfire. Anyone who played Modern Warfare 2019 for an entire year knows that this reasoning is absolute bullshit. Because what did people do without a traditional minimap in Modern Warfare 2019? They slowed down the gameplay. They camped. It did the exact opposite of encouraging players to actively search for other players. It slowed everything down, and it totally enabled players to just camp in corners without showing up on the radar, even if they were unsuppressed. We know this, and they know this, because we told them this. Also, in classic Call of Duties or Black Ops Cold War, for instance, if you don't want to get punished for shooting your unsuppressed weapon, you can, attach a suppressor. Or you can play without a minimap at all in hardcore. Back in the day, it used to be an option, and everyone fucking liked it. And so I see a lot of people from Charlie Intel and Modern Warzone tweeting out, a very logical assumption, which is to assume they must have some data behind the scenes to support this otherwise very stupid decision. And look, I totally get where you're coming to that conclusion, but I'm here to tell you that that assumption is wrong. And I know that for a fact. In 2019, people who watch my channel know I got to go to LA, and people who watch my channel also know that I had some contacts around that time. And I'm not going to drop any names, but some of the conversations were just shooting the shit, but some of our conversations were about important stuff related to the game, and I would ask permission, like, is this on the record or off the record? And if I got permission, I would talk about certain things in my videos. When the beta for Modern Warfare 2019 was out, we had absolutely zero minimap, and I became an annoying little bitch. I will be the first to admit it. I was messaging like crazy, like, what are you guys doing over there? This is kind of dumb. Are you really sticking with this idea? And then we got a minimap that had nothing on it. It was literally just the map and the topographical features. You didn't even have your teammates on it. And I was like, this is a bad joke, right? And then they gave us a map that had your teammates on it, but it didn't show enemy fire. So again, I messaged, very frustrated and annoyed that they were just kind of torturing us with this needless tease of a feature that was commonplace in every other Call of Duty. Why are we having to fight for this, And this is what I was told. I was told that they weren't going to budge any further with the minimap because the people at the top had a, quote, certain vision for the game, and they were sticking to it. This is before they collected any real data on the community at large. So this decision was not only made well before the release of Modern Warfare 2019, but it had nothing to do with any data. They had already made up their mind that regardless of the data, regardless of the feedback from the fans, they were sticking to a vision they had for the game, regardless of what the community said or, how many in the community were talking about it. It did not matter. They already made a decision to ignore us on the minimap issue before the game even came out, okay? Because if you want to talk about some data to find out what the fans really like and what they really find enjoyable, here's your data. 116,000 votes in 2019 during Modern Warfare's beta, where people are like, give us the minimap. Okay, here's another poll done yesterday. Just under 30,000 votes, with almost 90% voting for the traditional minimap. We also had people from Charlie Intel who got to play the game early and said that the red dots were on for the minimap, and they were talking about how much of a blast they were having. And Infinity Ward was like, you guys are having fun? Oh shoot, that's a glitch. Boop, and they turned it off. Not to mention, it was reported that 35% of all of their feedback was specifically about the minimap. Out of all of the issues that people are reporting in their feedback for the game, 1/3 of the feedback is about the minimap. There's your data. That's the data that matters. What the community wants, what the community thinks is fun. Between 80 to 90% of the community want the traditional minimap, but the feedback, like I said, does not matter. It has nothing to do with data. They have a vision, okay? It's not about anything else other than their vision. You may be wondering what that vision is or was, so let me tell you, okay? As soon as I read that message that told me that it was about their vision, they weren't going to budge anymore, okay? The first thing that I thought was, well, your vision isn't Call of Duty. Your vision is of a different game, all right? Who's ever calling those shots needs to work for a different company and make different games. My second thought was, when I was in LA, everyone I talked to, like Dalek JD, Prestigious Key, Gunner 2 Times, Shots, in our conversations, we all brought up the whole minimap issue. And we also brought up how the game felt like they were trying to make a Rainbow Six Siege-esque game. Like, let me tell you, you thought Modern Warfare 2019 felt clunky in its beta or on launch, you should have played it in LA. And we all kind of thought this was silly. Because even when Rainbow Six was going up against a shitty Call of Duty multiplayer like Black Ops 4, for instance, Call of Duty fans were still preferring to play that over Rainbow Six. They still had a larger player count, right? So why are you trying to copy the loser? Why are you trying to copy the brand that can't even compete against you at your worst? Why are you trying to mimic or become a partial clone of the gameplay style and feel of a game the majority of your fans don't even want to play or don't enjoy, and then force your fans into an experience that's partially inspired by that, and then ignore and reject any and all feedback that dare challenge your ridiculously out of touch vision? And then you try to gaslight the community by saying, we listen to the fans, and this game is a product of all their previous feedback. Like, you realize you're talking to the people who gave you the feedback that you ignored, right? Like, you realize that we've been here the whole time and we know that you're lying, right? If you want to make a game that is fundamentally different from Call of Duty, if you want to make a non-Call of Duty shooter so bad, then go find another company and do that. If you want to make a Rainbow Six game so bad, then go work at Ubisoft and help them make the next Rainbow Six. Go on now, get. If you want to pursue that vision so bad that you will reject and ignore any feedback that dare challenge that vision, then go work for another company and make your game for a community that will actually appreciate your vision. Because that community ain't us. All right, leave Call of Duty, Call of Duty. And look, you can make changes and innovations to Call of Duty with it still being Call of Duty, right? Like having diving and sliding. That's cool. That's still very Call of Duty of you. But if you get rid of kill streaks, for instance, because it doesn't fit your vision, I'm sorry, your vision isn't Call of Duty. So go make a different fucking game for a different fucking company. Okay? Do you want to add a third-person mode as an option so that people can choose whether or not they want to play that mode when they feel like it? Hey, that's pretty Call of Duty of you. But if you get rid of having a perk system because it doesn't fit your vision, then again, go make a different shooter for a different company because that's not Call of Duty. Now keep in mind, I'm not talking to Infinity Ward as a whole or even directly to the individual who gave me this information. That's not fair, and that would be pointless. Okay, it's not a democracy over there. There's some decisions that they make together, there's other decisions that are top down and they just have to go with it. All right, but who's ever in charge calling the shots on this vision for Modern Warfare, you need to get some fucking contacts because your vision sucks. But back to the truth behind the minimap. Not a lot of people know this. I know a few people do, but not a lot. And I think I may have touched on it a little bit, vaguely, in an older video like 2 years ago, but I didn't go that deep. One, because it was off the record. I was not given permission to talk about it. And two, I came to legitimately believe that Modern Warfare 2 was going to be different. Because after Black Ops Cold War came out and everybody was, showing how happy they were about the traditional minimap making a comeback, everybody saying, thank you, Treyarch, this is cool. I thought that there was no way, after seeing all of this expressed appreciation and commotion over the return of the traditional minimap, that after that display, Infinity Ward would ever have the gall to even attempt to gaslight us that we don't actually want the traditional minimap, or, that the removal of the traditional minimap is better for the multiplayer experience. I thought there was no way, after the undeniable rejoice for the minimap, that they were going to try to do all that again. But here we are, and they're doing it again. And after seeing them release that bullshit reasoning statement, and people making hopeful assumptions that the decision was based on data, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to make a video. And another thing that people were talking about that needs context, like a lot of context, was the game sales for Modern Warfare. So let me explain. There's this anomaly that happens amongst COD fans when someone says, yeah, Modern Warfare 2019 sold more copies than any other Call of Duty. People who hear that for the first time have the same reaction. They all go, really? It's always confusion because that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like a true statement. We all feel like that doesn't make any sense. But people then get embarrassed and go, well, I guess maybe other people really did like the game, even though me and just about everyone I knew felt like it was a self-sabotaging clusterfuck at times. And that reaction happened in Modern Warzone's chat. Someone said, yeah, if they're making decisions off of data, that Modern Warfare 2019 sold more than any other Call of Duty, so they're probably going to try to imitate that. And everybody was like, wait, what? It sold more than any other Call of Duty? The same reaction, confusion. Because, we tend to correlate selling more copies with being a better game or a more loved game, but here's the truth behind the game sales. Modern Warfare 2019 in January of 2020 fell off a cliff with game sales, and it was not gradual, it was in free fall. It was met with more disappointment and controversy than any other Call of Duty in history. Its initial game sales were largely in part people holding out hope that it would get better, but it didn't. And if you don't remember, there were death threats from the community because they were so displeased. And I'm not advocating for that or justifying that. Those people are sick in the head. I'm just bringing that up to counter anybody who's trying to gaslight and say that the game was loved by the majority or well received. It was not well received. But anyways, as the game sales fell off the cliff, Warzone got introduced and game sales saw a 20% increase from Modern Warfare 2019. You gotta remember, Activision and Bobby Kotick stated that Warzone was essentially a marketing tool for increasing main title Call of Duty sales, and they even stated that Warzone as a marketing tool was an absolute success. But you also have to realize that in 2020 we had COVID and we had lockdowns. And studies showed that the COVID lockdowns in 2020 caused a 46% increase in overall video game sales in the United States. So without Warzone giving a 20% bump and COVID giving a 46% bump to game sales, Modern Warfare 2019 would have sold roughly half as many copies, which is a number closer to the game sales of Black Ops 4, for instance. Okay, COVID and Warzone were the game sales life support for Modern Warfare 2019, and the key factors that enabled it to sell 1 million copies more than Black Ops 1, which had held the record up to that point. Just to give you another visualization of what it took to get Modern Warfare's game sales to reach 1 million more than Black Ops 1, Black Ops 1 did not have a free-to-play Warzone-style game that functioned as a constant promotional marketing tool, adding a 20% increase to its game sales. It just didn't have that. And Black Ops 1, all on its lonesome, only spent around $17 million on its marketing campaign. Modern Warfare 2019, with the cost of Warzone and both games' marketing campaigns, spent around $240 million. They had to spend 12 times as much money to get Modern Warfare to go just above Black Ops 1's game sales. And Warzone is not going to provide that same type of support for Modern Warfare 2. Warzone has lost, over 75 million players in the last year or so? Warzone 2 is not going to bring every single player back. They're not going to make up every bit of their losses. Okay, Warzone 2 is not going to reach the same peak as Warzone 1. And whatever peak they eventually obtain with Warzone 2 is not going to last nearly as long as the peak originally obtained in Warzone 1. A lot of people have just flaked. They're just kind of done with Warzone, and they lost interest. And a lot of those types of individuals may return to check out Warzone 2, but most of the returning flakes probably aren't going to remain that interested for that long. And the people behind the scenes already know this. So look, game sales are going to be better than Vanguard without a doubt. The sales might just be around the ballpark of Black Ops Cold War, but without the added advantage of peak Warzone interest or the added advantage of everybody being locked at home, providing a 46% increase to overall game sales, they are not going to be able to recreate the game sales success of Modern Warfare 2019. And that is not because Modern Warfare 2019 was actually that good or actually the best Call of Duty ever. It's because Modern Warfare 2019 had an unprecedented marketing campaign budget and the bittersweet fortune of releasing just before a game sales increasing global lockdown. And look, Activision and Infinity Ward, they already know this. And anybody who tries to talk about this and go into detail about this or reveal any numbers or statistics and information that's going to counter what Activision wants us to see is going to be met with more lies and gaslighting. We were all hoping that they were going to show completely different colors this time around. But they've got this vision that is opposite of what a lot of the fans actually want, and they're going to stick to that vision. And then they're going to pump a shit ton of money into its marketing and hope that that fills up the gap of disinterest while updating us on minor adjustments or fixes, but ignoring us on the major issues. If they change that attitude for the better, I will be absolutely ecstatic as a fan. But I'm not going to hold my breath. And we already saw how they underestimated the fans' rejection of Vanguard's beta. They assumed that all the fans saying, I'm not going to buy it or I'm going to cancel my pre-order were bluffing, like bitchy fans usually do when they're like, I'm not going to buy this game or I'm not going to pre-order, and they still buy it and pre-order it anyways. That's what they thought was going to happen. But no, almost every fan who said, I'm not going to buy this game or I'm going to cancel my pre-order actually did. They canceled their pre-orders because Call of Duty fans are just fucking fed up. For example, Vanguard was the first pre-order that I ever canceled. Okay, I have been playing Call of Duty multiplayer since it hit console. I played the first campaigns, and I've been going to midnight releases for Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. Okay, if a guy like me cancels his pre-order, that's the canary in the coal mine, all right? And look, I will gladly do it again for Modern Warfare 2. Because in the absence of Vanguard, I was playing Plutonium. I was playing World at War, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, IW4X. Like, I was having actual fun. I'm not going to continue supporting a game or franchise that doesn't support its fan base. Like, you guys remastered the entirety of Modern Warfare 2, but then sell us the campaign and give us the finger on the multiplayer? And then you tell us that you're listening, but then you ignore us on the most prominent issues. Why should we be nice anymore? Go fuck yourself. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I hope you guys know that I really have missed you all. And please be sure to share this video. Also be sure to go watch all the funny ass videos from Dead Ops Regiment and subscribe. Comment down below, keep the conversation going. And I'll catch you guys next time.